Oh, it is a Monday here with Longshore and McKnight, beginning a brand new week here on the program. Glad you're with us. Hope it was a great weekend. A lot to discuss. A ton of sports action to recap, and certainly a lot to look forward to on this big week. Barry back in his home studio, it looks like today. Did you recognize the place when you got home?
Yeah, it was. It has been quite a stretch, I promise you. Got back in last night around 10 o'clock.
Whoa.
After, baseball road series, two of them, NCAA tournament, all this kind of stuff. Good to be back. Coming back last night from Statesboro, Georgia, where Troy ended up winning yesterday. In Statesboro, to Troy, in case you're wondering, it is quite the haul and none of it's easy. Back roads and all that stuff.
Yep.
Got my phone out and was watching the tournament.
Oh, okay.
Got it out and was checking the whole thing out. And it was funny because I did get to watch late the end of the Iowa-Illinois game on Saturday. Illinois wins it in the Elite Eight. And I got to watch Arizona beat Purdue, just totally took over the second half. That was in my hotel room on the TV, watching it, staying up late when I shouldn't have. Yesterday, didn't watch a bit of Michigan, Tennessee.
Me either.
Evidently, I didn't miss any of it. I didn't miss anything because Michigan beat the holy dog snot out of the Volunteers. Not totally against that.
No,
it's not what I would consider to be a tragic occurrence or anything. But then on the phone coming home, I picked up the telecast of UConn versus Duke at halftime.
Yes.
And they were talking about how great Duke looked, how they had the double-digit lead, and the two brothers were doing great, and all this kind of stuff. And UConn looks out of their game. I didn't see any of that first half. But we watched in the second half, and everybody was on their phone checking it out. I didn't realize it, but it's all throughout the bus, all the players in the back and everything. And when that kid hit the shot at the end, we just about gave our bus. We almost ran off the road in Warner Robins, Georgia. I'm telling you.
I can imagine.
Because everybody was like, oh! And it was a great shot. Braylon Mullins hits a three at the horn. First time ever somebody hits a three-pointer and sends their team at the horn to the Final Four. But
Barry, that was a dagger. Not only to the Duke basketball program and their fan base, but several contestants in the Longshore McKnight 4 for 4 in the Final Four contest. More on that later. That one's a tough pill to swallow. 0.3 of a second left on the clock when the bucket went in, and my first reaction was the refs are going to go back and review this, and there'll be 23 seconds left on the clock.
For one reason.
When Duke gets the ball
because back. It's Duke.
But they did add 1/10 of a second, so they did get 4/10 of a second instead of 3.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, the TV world did not want to see that.
What happened was theater. I have a really good friend of mine named David Shoemate. Super guy. He is the radio voice of the Duke Blue Devils. And way offsides, Jeff says the Duke radio team was screaming for the technical after the last shot was epic. Yeah, he was wrong. I mean, he got caught up in the moment just a little. It wasn't terrible or anything. The kid he's talking about, Malachi Smith comes off the bench. No, Malachi Smith was actually in the game. He can stay on the court and all that. But what I did not like, I like Duke fine. I got nothing against Duke at all. As a matter of fact, I do like them.
Yep.
I'm not one of these Duke haters. I never could understand that. And I like John Shire, the head coach. But at the end of the game, obviously, he is absolutely shattered. He is just blown up over the whole thing. And he's in the post-game press conference, and he says, I have no words. He says, our kids did not deserve that ending. And I'm a compassionate guy, John. But yes, they did. I mean, UConn in the second half was like 16-0 in points off of turnovers.
Yeah.
Duke was up 19 at one point. They were up 15. They were up double digits midway through the second half. But they kept turning the ball over. The two freshman brothers, I guess, no, one of them, anyway, it's Caden and Cameron Boozer. They both turned it over like 4 times in the final 8 minutes, including right at the very end. John, all respect to that kid Mullins for hitting that three-pointer at the horn. That will never be forgotten. But Duke gave that game away.
Well, you talk about the turnovers, Barry. I can think of about 2, maybe 3 in the last 2 minutes. It seemed like Duke turned the ball over that UConn turned into points. So, yeah, I mean, you can't turn it over. And, look, I would have probably used a different choice of words as well. You saying UConn did not deserve to win just because you felt like you didn't deserve to lose? You got to play better. But it was a heck of a game.
Deserve to lose.
An ending that I certainly wasn't expecting. I mean, we've seen Duke so many times, even when it was, they're up by 6, they're up by 5. It's getting late. You're thinking, no way something like this is going to happen. And that last sequence there again, I thought that was really good basketball by a team that was very well coached, that had a high basketball IQ. The player that made the winning shot actually threw it to one of his teammates, got in position, and his teammate threw it back to him. Usually in a situation like that, time is of the essence. You're running the clock in your head. You're going, we don't have a lot of time. We're getting to a panic stage. We got to make something happen. And to me, that was so calm and so fluid. And it was like they knew what they were going to do.
They were well coached. Now, in Church League, if that ball comes to a certain player, it ain't coming back.
No way.
The shot is being taken. But that was really the thing that I thought down the stretch, or really the whole second half, UConn was better coached. They were scrappier. They're down 19 and they're still playing hard, and Hurley's still coaching his behind off. They fell behind, I think, by 5 in the last couple of minutes. Didn't matter. They kept coming, kept playing hard. And I thought that at the very end, like John said, when the break came, they were totally prepared for it. That is one heck of a well-coached team, not just in X's and O's, but also in, hey, do not quit. Keep playing hard, keep playing defense, keep poking at the ball, all this stuff. And I thought Duke kind of wilted at the very end. So, all credit to that kid for hitting the shot. If he doesn't hit the shot, they don't win the game. But to say that Duke didn't deserve the ending, they absolutely did. They set up that ending themselves. So,
well, they did. And there again, I think UConn did enough to deserve to win. And the way that they played, they took advantage of some turnovers and some bad play by the Duke Blue Devils. But heck of a game. I think it's interesting, Barry, you mentioned, and I heard somebody say this because I was with a group of people that was watching the end of that game. And somebody mentioned the UConn bench. And one of the players kind of went onto the court, and then he quickly, realized, I need to circle back and get toward my bench as quick as I can. Yeah. So I haven't seen a full shot of, did the whole UConn bench go to the floor? Was it a couple of players or a coach? But be that as it may, do you put it in the officials' hands for something like that? I mean, a guy hits a 3 from 25 feet with 0.3 of a second. You're gonna put the balance of the game on your whistle?
I don't think so. In that instance, and I did see a couple of shots, that one guy took 2 steps out and then he went like this and backed off and everything. The coaches were going crazy. Sometimes they let that thing right. It didn't interfere with the flow of play. I mean, there was a timeout and all that.
Yeah.
And they kind of take that into account. If you remember, and I'm sure you do, Bruce Pearl used to live on the court during the game. I thought he spent, while the game was going on, I thought he spent more time on the court than some of the players did, and you kind of let that go. Oates the same way. You see that happen. You see the players come out. And right after the shot was hit, they did call the timeout. So they had, players come out on the court then and given the chest bump, given the Trooper Taylor to Braylon Mullins. That would have been, I would consider it to be an absolute travesty if they would have called it technical against UConn for going out of the court, giving Duke 2 free throws with 0.3 of a second to go. That would have.
Who else would they? Is there any other team they might do that to? Just saying, but
fair point.
Yeah, you don't want a game of that match. Really, any game is. I've always had a problem with. Well, in the Super Bowl, they let it go a little bit. They don't call it as tight. I'm thinking, why not? I mean, do it the regular season like you do in the Super Bowl. But a game like that, you call a T. I mean, what are we talking about today if that does happen? And Duke goes to the line and makes both those free throws and wins by a point.
Oh, there would be people who would swear off the NCAA tournament forever. It would take off, one of the great moments in sports for a little ticky-tack thing. And at that point, the referee, he sees the toe of your shoe go over the floor during the game. Technical foul, I didn't even realize that kind of a thing. It used to remind me of when I was covering Auburn basketball and sitting there courtside with a colleague of mine back when David Housel was the sports information director. And on the baseline, you got that group of photographers.
Yeah.
And it was always the same photographers every game. You knew them all and everything. There's very few, like a CBS photographer or something. And they had that little dotted line on the baseline. You can't go over it. And he'd elbow me during play, and he'd point over there. And one of the photographers is busy shooting down there. He's in a sitting position, and his foot was over that dotted line. Maybe this much. Ooh. And he'd elbow me. He says, watch this. And sure enough, here comes this student assistant from the sports information office. And he'd tell the guy, oh, sorry, that was, David would do that. David was a stickler. It wasn't on the court.
Yeah.
The foot was over the little dotted line about 5 yards off the base, about 5 feet off the baseline. So you don't want to be that ticky-tack if you're a referee, but, could you imagine? Yeah,
that would have been, what a storyline that would have been.
Yeah.
Getting caught up in all of that basketball excitement that we saw yesterday and on Saturday for some people.
Yeah,
Friday night was a tough one for the Crimson Tide. Played well in the first half.
Led at halftime.
Led at halftime. Wasn't expecting that, but wow! It was like a totally different game in the second half. I guess the superiority of the Michigan Wolverines took over, kind of as they did Tennessee yesterday.
Yeah,
and just not enough for this Crimson Tide team to advance to the. I guess it would have been the Final 8 if they'd have won on Friday night.
Yeah. It was a 15-point. It was a 2-point difference at halftime. Alabama had the lead. Michigan outscores them by 15 in the second half. How do you score 21 fewer points in a half than you did in the first?
Yeah,
and Michigan ends up winning the game by 13 and deserved to win it. Lindeborg was incredible. Big, strong guy, very talented. He ended up 8 of 12 from the floor. He hit 4 of 5 3-pointers. Had a double-double, almost had a triple-double, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Also, and I didn't mean to start critiquing post-game stuff. After the game, Nate Oates was saying, man, it would have been good if we could have had Bediako.
Did he really? I didn't hear him say, well, I didn't watch the post-game, so I didn't.
Would have been great. Well, I didn't see it either. But after that, number one, that's neither here nor there. That doesn't matter. He wasn't there. And number two, I don't think Bediako could have stopped Lindeborg in that inside game. I mean, those are some grown dang men with Ade Mara and Lindeborg and those guys. 6 rebounds, 6 points from Bediako would not have made a big difference. So
tough night against, there again, Don't think there were a lot of people out there, except maybe the money line magician that thought Alabama was going to win the game on Friday night.
Yeah.
A pretty big underdog in the game, but they certainly gave it a good fight and a good effort. I did see also over the weekend where Greg Burns sent out something on social media of a photo of himself and Nate Oates together with the caption, "We're good." Yep. He's not going anywhere. So I guess maybe that might comfort Bama fans to some degree that their head basketball coach planning to stick around a few more years.
Yeah, they're both looking happy. They're both looking happy with life. And by gosh, they should.
I don't know if you noticed the painting that was on the wall that's hanging behind the two of them in that photo. I know the lady that painted that painting, by the way. Small world, isn't it? Huh? How about that?
It wasn't Daniel Moore?
No, I don't think that was a Daniel Moore painting. But good for them, and they got that squared away, and they're ready to go. Well, Barry, as you can imagine, and I'll try to explain when we get back from our first break today, but it's days like today, just have a little soft, sad spot, a little sadness came over me today, and I'm working my way through it, but I'll explain when we get back.
Oh, very nicely done. We're underway on the Monday. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. All right, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here on a Monday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Tell all your friends about us as well. Spread the word. Means a lot. Really appreciate it. You can always check us out wherever you are checking us out now. Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com. Their Yellowhammer News Facebook page, our Facebook page, YouTube, X, Spotify, Instagram, Apple Tunes. It's all over the place to view or to listen and or both. We really appreciate it. You can view and listen on your schedule. That's the great thing about it. We do it live weekdays from 7 to 9, but you can pull it up. Hit the search bar of any of those platforms I just mentioned. Type in Longshore McKnight. There we are. That easy.
So now that the Final Four is set.
Yep.
I'm not talking about the NIT. I mean, the Final Four.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Bama's season? Ty says on the chat line, he says, I can't figure out how Michigan stymied Bama in the second half. Didn't look like they were doing that much different schematically, and Bob from Pike Road cuts right to it. He says Michigan had Goliath and his 5 brothers, all around 7 feet tall, who could all play ball really well. Michigan was just better, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more. Sometimes, and Bob's right, sometimes, the other team is just a better team, and I thought so. As a matter of fact, I don't know that anybody's better than Michigan.
They're pretty tough. I think Arizona's impressive as well. Those two teams have kind of, topped my list over the last couple of weeks. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I know there's a group out there that goes, "Oh, what an accomplishment! Made the Sweet 16, whee!" But it's about winning it. And as we went into Friday night, and I'm, texting with some folks, and the family text chains asking me about it, and I said, "Well, they're in a good position right now. It's better to be, up by 2 at half than down by 20." But really. Did you really think they were going any further than that? When you saw them play in the regular season, did you go, you know what? Woo, this team's got national championship written all over them. Kind of like football. How many times did we say that last fall? Bama fan, hate to tell you, this team ain't winning the national title.
The Alabama team won 25 games. They lost 10.
Yeah.
They lost 10.
Yeah, they did.
And I don't disagree at all with John's assessment. Did you really think they were winning the national championship? I didn't. It's got flaws. They weren't all that strong in the paint. And don't get me Bediako, he ain't Kareem or anything. And he shouldn't have played anyway. But 25-10, pretty good team. 25 wins. LeBaron Filan balled out. He played 39 minutes, 35 points. That's a pretty good year. I agree
they say it again. That's what Bama fans don't want to hear. Hey, pretty good.
No.
Pretty good. What?
This is the point I'm leading up to. I agree with John with all that. They weren't going to win a national championship. They had some flaws. What I disagree is we should be totally dissatisfied with the year. This was an absolute waste of time. Why in the world even play 35 games if you're not going to win the night? That's where John and I absolutely disagree. All of this Phylon and heck, Millette and Amari Allen, you guys, sorry, but man, you just totally wasted our time for 3.5 months. I don't know. That's what bothers me is that if it's not. And Bama fans,
harsh.
I know this. You will not change my mind on this. In private, to yourself or maybe your loved one, you're saying, "Man, that was pretty fun. I kind of like that. That was, man, do you remember beating the Aubs that bad?
Okay.
This and that and everything." But in public, around other Bama fans, you got to front, you got to posture, you go, "Oh, man, we didn't win a championship. Gosh, man, that's unconscionable. We got to get us a national championship." You got to say that in public. I know you want. I know you got to say that in public. But in private, you might be saying, "That was all right. That was pretty fun. I had some good times with that team."
That might be a little hard, but there again, and there were some good times. Oh, wow, great game that week. Great game against that team. There were some highlights. There were some points of the season that you'll reflect on and go, "Wow, that was great." But and if they had somehow, some way beaten Michigan, there again, the excitement, the euphoria, the coming out of the woodwork fan base. "Oh, I told you all along this team was great," but just didn't see it. But I'm there again. I don't want to discount those 25 wins, and that was. Here we go. We put the little ball on the top of his head. It was a good year. You did really good. Good for you.
Right.
Is that all a good for you season?
No, you want more, but you can't just say, "Oh my gosh," the head coach at Iowa, the head coach at Purdue, the head coach at Tennessee, the head coach at Duke. after the game regardless. Duke loses on a last-second shot. Tennessee loses by 33. They're all absolutely shattered. Season's over. We came so close.
Yeah.
Are they going back? Hey, everybody, don't forget the Tennessee flight is coming back into the Knoxville airport at 8:19 in the evening. Let's all be there and support the team. Are you saying, what the heck are they doing? Wait a minute. They're out there cheering for their team. They lost. They didn't win. They're out there lining the tarmac with those god-awful orange and white shakers and everything. What an absolute waste of human breath. I don't get that.
I'm glad they participated and they bonded as a team and, had some great memories. And 25 years from now when they have a dinner and they bring the team back, even Charles Bediako will get invited and they can reminisce about that great season and the NCAA tournament and the SEC tournament, all that good stuff. And I get it. It is hard. There's no doubt. A lot of people are saying it might be the hardest championship to win in sports is the NCAA tournament. I don't know. Some of these teams get some pretty good opening 3 or 4 games, but once you get down to the meat and potatoes, it's all difficult. And from here on, well, really probably the Sweet 16 on, it's extremely difficult. So I certainly get that. It is difficult. I didn't realize that Tom Izzo at Michigan State's only won 1 ring in 26 years.
It's hard.
Really?
It's hard. Yeah, it's not easy to do, which is the point. Michigan State doesn't have the largest, expenditure and all that.
Yeah.
This is, as it turns out, the first Final Four since 2014, 12 years.
Okay.
This is the first Final Four since 2014 to feature only state name schools. There's no Georgia Tech, there's no Gonzaga, there's no Auburn. There's only, in this deal, it only turns out to be Illinois, Connecticut, Michigan, and Arizona. And I suspect the network's kind of like that.
Probably
our
so.
state's go, if it was Alabama, it'd be a misnomer. Hey, we'll get so many viewers in Alabama just because they have state pride. Will you? Probably. Michigan State fans ain't going to be rooting for Michigan, any of that. But I wonder if that's indicative of the way things are. Big state schools with big endowments and big athletic budgets, except for maybe UConn, and getting to the Final Four. That's the first time it's happened.
Well, I think that there again, I think the networks would have loved to have Duke in that Final Four because we'd have been hearing about that all week long. Now they're going to come up all week and make these new packages and these pregame segments that last 8 minutes. Wait a minute. Whoa, we got to can the Duke ones? Oh, wait a minute. Do we have anything for Arizona? We got anything for UConn? They're going to be scrambling to put those little features together throughout the week.
I'm not a Duke hater. I like them fine. I do. But if you look at it, they haven't made a Final Four. I want to say they haven't made it. I can't remember one in like the last 12 years themselves. And that's when they've had players like Cameron Boozer and Cooper Flagg and Kyle Filipowski and Zion Williamson and Jason Tatum and Luke Kennard. And I mean, you look at the talent that's come through Duke, all of those guys in the NBA, and I'm sure you guys can think of twice as many more off the top of your head, and they ain't making the Final Four. Haven't with any of those guys. Not even the final. I'm talking about a championship. I'm talking about a Final Four with those guys.
Barry, with 4/10 of a second left in that game yesterday, were you expecting to see some type of Christian Laettner shot? We're going to have
We've seen it.
Another rendition. Somebody brought that up, and I asked the question, and I thought, God, where's Barry when I need him? Who was the guy that allegedly was guarding Christian Laettner? Because the guy didn't even move.
His name was Derek Feldhaus. The two guys who were there.
Hadn't heard from him since.
The two guys that were there at the free throw line were John Pelfrey and Derek Feldhaus, and neither one of them got in front of Leitner. Neither one of them tried to deny the three-quarter court pass. They just stood back there at the free throw line and held their hands up. Leitner caught it with no problem from Grant Hill, by the way. Turned around, good look, non-obstructed, hit the shot, and those guys are still standing there. They're like,
yeah.
Yep. That is, I don't know how I remember Derek Feldhaus because I don't remember him from anything else.
But
yeah, that was dumb. Duke does dumb things.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I was expecting something, and now you can't do a lot in 0.4 of a second. I get it. I was expecting a little bit more than what I saw. It was kind of like Florida in their loss. I was expecting a little bit more on that last play.
Yeah.
As well. I will say this, Barry, I hinted at a couple of things. I'm going to get to the last thing I hinted to in just a moment.
Yeah, let's do that.
But that shot by UConn last night, that 25-footer, I'm estimating, kind of like baseball people, that home run went 470 feet. How do you know that?
Yeah, anyway. That's like Longshore when he hits that long putt to win the hole.
Yeah.
He's like, that had to have been 35 feet. And I say, John, it was 12.
So he hits a 25-footer.
But you're right. It was about 25.
And yes. I'm thinking, ooh, that just hurt some people. Ooh, that hurt some people. So I'm going back because I can tell you, Barry, Florida wiped out about half the field in the 4-for-4 of the Final Four contest. Then came the Houston Cougars. That wiped out about the rest of the field.
Yep.
So I'm scanning around looking to see who's left. And one of them is our man, LSU Mark.
Oh, has he had a lot on his plate lately at LSU?
And I felt so bad, I even replied back to him via email. I said, man, that was a dagger. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I hate it for you. I think Lyle's going to find some consolation prize to give you.
It's difficult. It's difficult because on an email, John can't tongue pop. He can't throat clear. He can't, woo. You can't do that on an email, which he would have done face to face.
Sure. I feel for you.
So
folks that had UConn, that was a tough one. It's kind of like Reggie Miller hitting 3 threes in about 13 seconds.
But this is for the Final Four.
Yeah.
So you got
the gusto.
You play again on Saturday, so we got a little time.
Yep.
Illinois versus UConn. I didn't realize this. Let me first of all say this. This is me. I didn't realize this until it happens. National championship semifinals for the biggest event the NCAA's got on. It is the one shining example of something that the NCAA does right. National semifinals, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana, Illinois versus UConn, and Michigan versus Arizona. Saturday night, prime viewing time on TBS. What in the holy heck?
Is the national championship game on TBS Monday night?
The national championship game is on TBS.
Well, my first thing
they don't do basketball.
It's money.
Why not CBS? CBS carries Big Ten football with Rutgers versus Northwestern. They can't carry the national championship game.
Mondays on CBS, you have Survivor Down Under. You've got Talent. They can't bump those shows. But I mean, hey, the national championship in football is on ESPN. It's not on a major over-the-air network. TBS. Last night I'm looking for the game, or yesterday I'm looking for the game. I go, wait a minute. Oh, TBS. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Money's the only thing I can tell you. I guess TBS has a lot of viewers. I wouldn't think they have as many as CBS, but
I know from most people,
if you pay for it, we'll let you do it.
And this is me as well. I'm only looking for the game. I'm looking on my streaming screen and everything. Boom, national championship game.
Yeah.
I'm clicking it, and there it is. I don't normally pay attention to what it is, but TBS is the comedy deal.
Yeah. Friends, Seinfeld,
King of Queens,
Will and Grace. I mean, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's one thing that was on John's.
Just don't put it on TNT, because when they have a Law and Order marathon, I don't want it interrupting. I don't want any basketball interrupting. Well, I got it on BBC America tonight. Law and Order on Mondays on BBC America. All right. John from Wetumpka. I was thinking about John, Barry. On Friday, I happened to be eating lunch. I'm scrolling along. John says Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis is where the National FFA convention is held. The two of us have won Broadcaster of the Year awards from the FFA. We love those folks. And I was wondering, as I'm watching the news on Friday during lunch, I'm thinking, I wonder if John from Wetumpka is one of these hundreds of people there on the north lawn of the White House as President Trump is addressing the crowd. There's tractors out there talking about farmers and how important they are and what he's going to do for them. And I'm thinking, I wonder if John from Wetumpka's up there, because I even
because of his
mentioned FFA. He talked about it.
Oh, I thought you were okay. All right, I was on a total track. I thought you were saying John from Wetumpka would be there because he's an Auburn guy and they've got tractors in the lawn and stuff.
No,
it's the FFA part. Okay. You led me a little bit down the wrong path on that one. I mean, there were tractors out there. There were hay balers. There were, all that discers and spreaders and stuff. And I thought, where's John from Wetumpka? I'm thinking, just because he's an Auburn guy and there are tractors doesn't mean he's going to be there. Give me a break.
Well, I'm looking forward to that MMA ring they're going to build out there during the 4th of July.
I'm wondering whether John from Wetumpka is going to be in Indianapolis this week when the Auburn Tigers play in the NIT.
Well, hey, somebody's in the Final Four from around here.
Yeah.
Who they playing again?
Somebody's still playing. One guy posted on Twitter something like Aub forever or something like that. He said, great to see the Auburn basketball season still going on while Bama's already done. Technically, that is true, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Who's Auburn playing again?
Illinois State.
Oh, yeah. Is that where Larry Bird went?
No, that was Indiana State.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Thursday, this coming Thursday, at 8:30 at night.
Woo.
At Hinkle.
I got to tell you, I don't know if I've ever known Auburn to play a series of games against teams I've never heard of before. Not that that matters. Not that that matters, I guess. Illinois I don't want to offend anybody, but there's some. I have heard of South Alabama. I will say that. The other ones, I know Nevada's got a football team. I'd never heard of the Nevada basketball team doing anything.
It's Nevada, number one. Number two, Illinois State's best player ever was Doug Collins, who was on that 72 Olympic team, later coached the Bulls, and Michael.
Not related to Tom Collins, which is a great summertime cocktail.
You said there was something else.
Yeah, well, we need to take a break, Barry. And
look at you.
Yeah.
Whoa. Those words just came out of John's mouth. Hello.
Like you see Sports Center go, when we come back, highlights of the Bama National Championship game. They'll go 3 more commercials before they get to those highlights. Drives me insane. Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you, folks. We're going to talk about it when we come back.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light?
I'm here, Bud Light.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here?
Oh, Bud Light there.
I missed that because of you.
You did not miss that play because of me.
Have to stop talking this way?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got you, Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Okay, here we are back at it, about 18 minutes to the top of the hour. Longshore McKnight, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, really appreciate it. Barry, it's weekends like the past weekend that we just enjoyed, the weekend before Easter, that I just come out and say it. I've been thinking a lot about PM. Yesterday, Sunday morning musings or reflections from Auburn and beyond, I believe was his Sunday column. Today's would have been Monday musings. And I'm just thinking, how would Philip waxed poetic the crushing loss to Alabama in baseball for the second straight night on a controversial play at second base? A little chirping going on between the two players. If you look closely enough, I can distinctly see the mouth position of a word that starts with an F
and another word that starts with a Y.
Yeah, well, I think there was an M too. That in front of one of those, it started with an F.
Yeah. Unlike that former Auburn coach, you don't have to slow that down frame by frame to deduce what he is saying. To me, it was pretty obvious.
And just, I'm thinking about it Saturday or Sunday and how he would have written the accounts of what had happened, not only Friday night, but of course Saturday night as well, leading into the third game on Sunday that had yet to be played. And it was a tough Sunday morning for him because we really wouldn't have probably read a lot about that. We would have read probably more about how Michigan thoroughly dominated Alabama in basketball in the second half, and that Auburn's going to the Final Four in the NIT, and spring football is looking great and a lot of great vibes. So we would have read a lot of positive things. And then I thought about this morning, what would today have been like after Bama completes the 3-game sweep against what was the number 5 team in baseball? Yeah. And I do want to thank some of my VIP River Region Straw text line.
We know the people know. You don't have to overtly thank them every time. They know where a lot of this background comes from.
You take the time and effort to send me video clips of Andy, and I'm not real sure who the guy is with him, but he's
it ain't Randall Dickey. It's Brad Law.
He's entertaining too.
Yeah.
Particularly toward the clips toward the end of the games, were very informative. Let me put it that way. I don't want to say, well, they were entertaining too, I guess. But in all seriousness, it was weekends like this past one that I just really sat back and thought and reflected a lot on Philip.
You got Philip PM, for those who don't know, is the late columnist for AuburnUndercover.com. In John's mind, always and forever, the sports editor of the Montgomery Advertiser and the Huntsville News and Huntsville Times and all that.
Yeah.
We lost him a little bit more than a month ago, and John has been out of sorts ever since. I don't think.
Barry, you know how long it took me to get over Cecil Hurt passing away?
I'm still not over Cecil. Here's the hard question. Who are you going to now?
Well, Jason had a great Monday morning column.
He did. Jason's
Monday morning quarterback column.
Jason Caldwell Monday morning quarterback column is epic at AuburnUndercover.com. What you would get from Philip, with all due respect, would probably not be, Alabama losing in basketball decisively. Probably would not even be Auburn baseball losing at Alabama 3 games.
Yeah, boy.
It would be Auburn softball at home getting swept by Missouri. I suspect that's where he would be.
You were telling me something, Barry, I did not even know. I did not know that the lady softball team got swept
at home.
Ooh.
By Missouri. Auburn softball is now 2-7 in conference play. That's what Phil, I would guess, would be talking about. He may mention, the Auburn baseball game. He almost definitely would mention Alabama's loss in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't know.
What you do have, and I love him. Ain't nobody a bigger fan of Jason Caldwell than me. Jason Caldwell's Monday morning quarterback column. Saturday was a day for the former players to come back and get welcomed back onto campus and to watch practice. He's dropping names. Liston Edens, the big cat from Brett Edens, Rob Selby. Jason Campbell doesn't count. Jason Campbell's there. He mentioned Preche Rodriguez. I'd forgotten about that. Larry Blakeney at Butler. Alex Smith. Defensive back Fred Smith. Eufaula, Alabama. Michael Goggins. Can't remember him. Chris Todd. Clint Mosley.
Wait a minute.
Those guys are back. He was a former starting quarterback.
Who was that offensive coordinator from Troy that came to Auburn? Didn't he bring Chris Todd with him?
Yeah, that was Tony Franklin.
Does that count? Does that count that I knew who it was?
No. Unless John looks at it, unless you hear a ding, I'm taking, especially when you hear a ding, I'm taking it to be.
Well, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. The guy's office was in the press box at the Troy Stadium because I went in there with you one day.
Oh, yeah. He was right next to my next to my broadcast booth.
I couldn't think of his name. Go figure.
Right, so there you go. That's I miss Philip too. I miss Philip.
Oh boy,
because he did good work for a long time and everybody kind of liked him, but I think John is at the stage where he's just going to have to.
It's tough,
without Philip, without Cecil.
Cecil Hurt with that little whoa. What was that? Let me reread that again. You're reading Cecil's column. You're going through line by line, and you go and then whoa. What was that?
This is not true. This is not true, because I could read Cecil's column, and Cecil was a fantastic writer, former sports editor of the Tuscaloosa News, frequent guest on the program.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd read it, and I'd say, hey, that's something. How about that? Boy, that's well written. And John says, did you not see the part about how the coach is going to lose his job? And I'm thinking, no, what? He didn't say anything at all about the coach losing his job. And John would look at me, he'd say, ooh, didn't it? I'd be like, oh, no, speed reading. There's nothing in there. John says, look right here. Look right here at this paragraph. Look at that again. Read that again. And I'd read it again, and I'd go,
I can tell you the last column.
And John says,
Cecil
he's telling me the coach is gone, who's behind it, when the date will be, and what the press conference. I'm thinking, I don't even see anything here. All right,
so golly, why can I not remember? I'm looking at him. My son went to his basketball camp. The coach
Avery Johnson.
So things aren't going well.
That's not a senior moment. John's always done that his whole life.
Things aren't going well. I can kind of feel it. There's some restlessness within the Alabama basketball camp. And Cecil comes out with a column, and I'm maybe before we go on the air one day or something like that, and I'm reading it, and I'm going, oh, whoa, uh-oh. Barry's going, what?
I'm totally unprepared for the show, because John says, oh, Squeaky's about done. And I'm thinking,
it is.
He says, read Cecil right now. And I'd read it, and what? I don't even think he mentioned Avery Johnson by name. And John says, oh, yeah.
He's gone.
I liked the guy, too. I thought he was a good coach, and he was nice to my son at his basketball camp. And I'm thinking, who are you talking about? Who is it? John says, do you not see it? It's just funny. John can read it, and it's like reading hieroglyphics, or like the ancient Druids used to, slaughter pigs and read the entrails and stuff. John be like,
So the coach prior to him, prior to Avery Johnson was, oh man, I can't even think of who that was either.
This is a constant. His name was Anthony Grant.
Anthony Grant, same type column about Anthony Grant, wrote the same thing about Mike Shulin, Mike Dubose, and all those guys. You could see it coming. Oh, they just don't have writers like that anymore. They just don't. Yeah. And love Brian, love Jason, love those guys who do great work. But this would have been a epic Phillip weekend. Epic.
Yeah. Softball getting swept. You think Jason Caldwell dropped some names of some old timers on his quarterback column? Phillip would have gone the whole time. I'll never forget his performance in the 1939 Bacardi Bowl in Havana, all that kind of stuff.
So, Barry, I did not know that the softball team got swept by Missouri. And
at home.
I got to tell you, Missouri's not a program I think about when I'm thinking ladies softball. But, Barry, it gets even worse. It has been brought to my attention that
again,
the equestrian
appreciate
team,
you guys. Appreciate you very much.
It has been brought to my attention that it was not a good weekend for the equestrian team. Texas A&M rolls into the Plains, takes care of business on Auburn's home turf. Literally.
Turf.
Something about the golf team not having a good weekend either, but I hadn't dug into that.
See, this is what, when John says I haven't dug into that, that means I haven't read all the 17 texts about it yet. I got to get to that. See, I got, on the program on this side, on this little screen, it's just me. John's got an army of researchers and writers and sources and stuff. When you see John over there, what you don't see is the vast group behind him of contributors that I don't have. I mean, it's just
it
me.
It is true. I do have a bank of screens here in front of me that this information rolls into network control on.
When Barry says this, make sure you say that. Ooh, you missed a chance. You should have said something to Barry about the curtain.
Well, no, I will say this, Barry. It's never that. I mean, obviously, that's just too many characters they've got to type. I'll get stuff like this. This is a prime example of something I've been saying for probably 30 years. This coming from an Auburn. I will say this. I've gotten a ton of screenshots this weekend from Auburn message board posters. Not what they didn't send it to me. people in the VIP text line sent it to me.
Oh, yeah. They're lurkers. They're lurking around. They're it's like you see sometimes when you're out on a rural road and you see you circling around looking for something. Hey, you see anything? Not yet, but I will.
Now, what is the definition of a lurker? I mean, because I actually pay for my subscription. Best $9.95 I spend a month. Am I considered a lurker? Because actually my subscription's through Auburn Undercover and I get access to Bama Online through it. So technically, my payment, I guess it's all going to the same place, but believe it or not, I signed up for Auburn Undercover first. And I do
believe that. That ain't hard at all. I do wonder sometimes because he could save that $9.95 because anything controversial or funny and all that, he's getting on a screenshot anyway for free.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to spend extra time scrolling through. Hey, Freeze for Prez, he says that Auburn is going to wear different, no, it's not, he all he's got to do is ding.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay, he could save that.
So I get this one, Barry, and I know we've kind of had a little fun about it from time to time, but I do wonder if there is any substance to this. I do. I've been saying it for years. This is from A.U. King on an Auburn message board entitled, "You Could Make an Argument That We're Not Even UAT's Biggest Rival Anymore." That definitely caught my attention. They've been kicking our ass in every sport, and we haven't beaten them on the gridiron in 6 years. Depressing times. Now, I've kind of hinted at that and kind of thrown it out there from time to time, maybe to get some reaction.
He doesn't really mean it, but it's just there to, kind of see what's going on. It's like lighting a stick of dynamite, throwing it in the water, hearing the big boom, and seeing what fish floats up,
I think there's a difference. It's like Bill Clinton said, "I did not inhale." I think there's a difference between puffing on it and inhaling it. Like, who's your
I did not believe him either, to be honest with you.
Who is Alabama's biggest rival, and who's their biggest game?
Oh, come on. I just ate breakfast. I don't want to lose it. Not now.
But, when I'm seeing that there's some Auburn faithful out there that are throwing it out there on the table for discussion, you know what? We're not even their biggest rival anymore. I think there could be some justification of that.
Can we wait until after March Madness? Can we wait until the doldrums of summer before we trot that one out again? Barry, the biggest rival versus the biggest game. And every time I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I can't. We're going to have to trot this out again. I don't get it. I don't. I just can't.
Before we go to the top of the hour break, this caught my attention too, Barry. And I'm not into this conversation that Theotis and Ty are having, but it deals with the band Rush, and says that he saw Rush playing at some awards ceremony. I saw that too, guys. And when I was listening to Geddy Lee sing, I thought, are they piping this in? Because, man, this guy still got some pipes.
Right.
And that new drummer, the female drummer that's taking over for Neil Peart, she can play. I was blown away. I did see a clip of that over the weekend. I think it was
Geddy Lee never could sing in his best day. What do you mean he still got some pipes? He sounds like a 14-year-old girl.
I thought, are they auto-tuning this or whatever they call it?
Gotta be.
This guy can belt it out, but they can still play, and that drummer, she's good. So, Theotis, Ty, your thoughts about maybe my impressions of what I saw on that clip? That was good stuff. We always kind of have information on our chat line that, might not be sports-related. It's kind of like our topic wheel. Sometimes we have animal topics that we get to. So, I appreciate the little change of pace and going off the off ramp here, because I did.
Yeah, but sometimes
the show, Barry, talking about the really, really tough sports weekend for the Auburn athletic department. Just didn't want to do that.
Well, we do have NCAA tournament. We do have a really fantastic finish there. Major League Baseball was extraordinary in the opening week. And yes, Tiger Woods gets another try.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that. And when we come back from the top of the hour,
look at John.
Do you hear I love when people say this. Do you hear the silence? It's deafening. I'll explain when we get back.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, $18,000 off. Super Duties, $2,000 under invoice. And Lightnings, $16,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Okay, back at it here on this Monday, a couple of minutes past the top of the hour. So glad you are with us here today, Longshore and McKnight. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Certainly check us out on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. What have I missed? You know, there's so many out there. Just type Longshore McKnight into the search bar, and you will find us. The Yellowhammer News Facebook page. I know a lot of people check us out there. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, Barry, in the 30 years or so that we've been together, I think back of this time of year, late March, early April. Yeah, I know the NCAA tournament's going on, but we are talking spring football. People are frantic. They're excited. They want to know the info, what's going on, what's happening at practice. Alabama and Auburn both had scrimmages since we last spoke. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Now, I don't know if Auburn's NIT Final Four appearance is taking up the news cycle, or maybe a baseball series over the weekend. Who knows? But do you find it interesting that spring football talk is just not where it was 10, 20, 30 years ago?
I don't. I think, 10, 20, 30 years ago, it's hard to explain because there are people out there covering at Auburn Undercover, auburnsports.com. Yeah. They've got scads and scads of people that are out there. They don't, and Rodney's talked about this before, they're not covering every bit of it because they're not accessing a little bit of it, but a little bit of it. Spring football, to me, has never been tremendously exciting anyway. I've done a lot of spring football games, and I like the T-Day game at Troy, and I like the A-Day games. Those games when they're games, but in the past, it used to be able, I think fans have kind of gotten jaded about it. Man, I hear this running back transfer we've got from UConn is really turning heads. boy, this left tackle that we've got from USC, I really like him. That kind of, because you don't know him. In the past, you're saying, man, this kid we got at left tackle, I remember when he was a freshman and he was so athletic, but he didn't know what he was doing. He's really coming along. Now you look at this guy and say, Fred Dorfman, man, I'm thinking he's making he may be the starting wide receiver. And you're thinking, who in the heck is Fred Dorfman? Oh, don't you know? He's the receiver we got from UTEP.
Yeah.
Did we? I don't think people are as invested in the roster anymore or as invested in the development. Golly, I remember that guy, his freshman year, he weighed about $190. Now he's 240 and still runs. Well, his freshman year, he spent at Tarleton State, I think that's part of it. I don't think the fans are as associated with individual players, particularly in not skilled positions. So if you hear one of your buddies say, golly, I really like this wide receiver that we got from Muskingum or something like that, you're like, oh, okay. I think that's part of it. The fans just don't identify with that.
I'm with you
anymore.
And maybe, when there was more access before social media and all that kind of stuff, there was a lot more hype and a lot more news, and whether it was accurate or not, people still, oh man, this running back, whoo, man, never seen anybody like him before in my life. Get you excited in the spring and summer. And by the time the fall rolls in, the guy's third team.
Remember, one of my favorite memories of spring football was when Auburn football, they'd practice out there at the fraternity lot, right behind the fraternity houses where you have the intramurals and all that kind of stuff. They just have it out there. There's no enclosure. John was out there one time. I'd been out there before. John came out one time. And, there's trucks backed up to the edge of the practice fields. They lower the tailgate. They got a cooler of beer, a couple of lawn chairs and everything. They're sitting out there drinking beer in the middle of the afternoon watching up downs. And John walked over there, and Philip Marshall was riding an exercise bike.
Well, I don't know if riding was the
exercise bike. That's a fair point. But the exercise bike, I wondered about it because, number one, I had never seen it out there before. Number two, it was like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Not right in the middle of the field, but it was like right in the middle of the whole thing. Some GA had to carry out an exercise bike and plunk it down there. There wasn't a bunch of them. There wasn't a line of them. There was one right in the middle of where everybody was standing to cover practice, and Philip was sitting on it.
Yeah, he was.
And intermittently pedaling very softly here and there. That's the way.
There was not a lot of resistance on it, Barry. I didn't see him turning that knob up to like 10.
Now, these days, it looks like the opening sequence from Get Smart. Dun, 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 whoop, all that kind of stuff. You've got to have 17 passes and a blood test to go get inside of one of these things for 15 minutes. So
it's tough.
I think that part has changed.
I'm just thinking, and I see these stories scattered around. These guys are doing the best they can to come up with some nugget about what happened. Hey, it's great. All the former players came back. You used to never read stuff like that. Oh, we got a big battle going on at the running back position. These three guys are knocking it out. Oh, and by the way, I saw Joe Namath at practice. You didn't read about stuff like that. Well, back then it seemed like you could go to practice. Anybody could, players or the public, as you just mentioned. Yeah.
It used to be good.
So, you go to the 8A game in a couple of weeks. They're going to have full-fledged scrimmages like they used to.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
Are you still going to know anything? Are we going to see anything then?
But you're going to say that you do. That's the value of it. Boy, I really was impressed with that left guard's quick feet. He moves well. You ain't got the slightest dang idea about.
Well, that's what Bob from Pike Road's for.
That's Bob, what you tell. Yeah, Bob will cut it to the chase.
Yeah, the Monday after the 8A game, Bob will give us a breakdown of Alabama's offensive line performance while everybody else is arguing about, was it Keelan Russell or Austin Mack that had the better afternoon?
Yeah, you got the the water cooler at work, somebody says, I just thought it was really great the way, just how sharp he ran routes. I mean, he is a great route runner in spring against air. Nobody knows that kind of stuff. Also, got a text earlier today. This afternoon, I'm really excited about this. This afternoon at 2:30 at the stadium here in Troy, the announcement of a new head basketball coach. His name is Adam Howard. He used to be an assistant at Troy, and I love him. I think this is a great hire to replace Scott Cross. Used to be an assistant on the 2017 NCAA tournament team at Troy. There were a lot of good candidates. I mean,
where had he been previously?
He had been this past year. He spent 1 year this past year at North Carolina State under Will Wade.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And before that, he had spent 3 years at Nebraska. He had been at Tennessee. He'd had a lot of experience in the SEC, in the Big Ten, in the ACC, and now he's back at Troy. He was at Troy for, I think, 3 years. And love that guy. Love
Barry,
that hire. I'll get to MC it and talk with and introduce Dr. Hawkins and Adam Howard.
I did see some news about that over the weekend. Prior to the former weekend, when I did not see any news about Scott Cross leaving. So I did see that over the weekend. Actually, there was a picture of him as well. I just couldn't remember. I remember he'd been somewhere. I just couldn't remember it was NC State, but Tennessee and Nebraska did come back and ring a bell. We're hearing from our man Tobias.
Yeah.
Out in Arizona. Said Bama could have used Aiden Holloway's shooting. Well, it probably would have helped, but I'm not sure it would have helped down low in the paint.
They could not, still not
rebounding. But what about this? Tobias actually profited from this game.
He says, anyway, Michigan covered the 8.5 for me. Took my lady to a nice dinner with my winnings. Legalized sports betting in Alabama.
Look at this guy. Wins
it would have been takeout from Takey Outy if otherwise. But hey, Michigan handled the 8.5. So, honey, come on.
Smart guy.
Wear your good dress.
Yeah. So, even though the Tide lost on the court, hey, Tobias won. Way to go. Man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Now, also, and this is very likely on the topic wheel, and for Gurn Jr., I apologize. Was it really news over the weekend that Tiger Woods had another traffic incident? He's now 50 years old. Tiger has now been involved in 3 traffic accidents in which he was either impaired or involved in a wreck.
Well, 2 of them he flipped the vehicle.
Yeah, including this last time. 2017, he was found asleep in his Mercedes by the side of the road in Jupiter and was arrested for DUI. 2021, he had that near fatal crash near L.A. With substantial injuries.
Yeah.
He was arrested on DUI charges Friday afternoon in Jupiter Island, Florida, 2-vehicle crash. And the details are that Tiger's Range Rover was traveling at a high rate of speed when he clipped the back of a work truck and flipped his SUV onto its side. The work truck was just working. It was just there. It wasn't moving. Woods was able to climb out of the car, was described as lethargic on the scene, and officers suspected medications or drugs. He took a breathalyzer test that returned a 0.00 reading, but he refused a urinalysis test at the jail, which means I guess he loses his license there. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Tiger.
So I guess some type of medication, I would probably guess a painkiller of some sort. He has had obviously a lot of surgeries. He doesn't seem to get around as easily as he once did. There again, I'm no doctor, but if I had to take a guess, some type of painkiller, I would think, I guess on the positive side, Barry, I guess there's no alcohol involved. He wasn't drinking.
It says 0.00 on the breathalyzer.
Yeah, but something else, or he knew better. Don't get the cup out. And I don't do that.
Yeah,
this was something in that cup.
This was the question that I was the guys on the trip were asking.
Yep.
Tiger's like a billionaire. I mean, he owns golf courses. Get you a driver, man.
First thing I thought of, Barry, why does this guy not have somebody driving him around?
Why not? You know, hey, Cedric, get the car ready. You know,
maybe now he will. It could have been too late.
Because maybe he won't have a driver's license now. Maybe he's going to have somebody.
Going to have to have one. And here it is, 2 weeks from Augusta.
Trump said he wouldn't play there.
Augusta. Champions dinner, hang around for a day or two. Don't think that the embarrassment of it all, but certainly he needs help, more importantly, and he needs to get this issue taken care of. But he's very fortunate, and Jupiter is a very well-to-do, high-income community in South Florida. People don't drive 60 miles an hour down those streets. They're narrow, they're residential. You just don't do stuff like that. And he certainly needs some help, and he's very lucky that it wasn't any worse than it was.
Yes.
But, hate to hear that about Tiger. And we talked about it so many times on Mondays in the spring and the summer. Man, this guy's unbelievable. Nobody's going to be able to beat this guy. In his prime, he was unbeatable. Not only because he played golf at such a level that nobody could handle, he just stepped on the tee. He'd already won the match. I mean, just his presence on the tee would intimidate his opponent. And he didn't have to rattle tees in his pocket, and he didn't have to cough and clear his throat at an appropriate time. Just walking up on the tee was all he had to do. Other people use little gimmicky things to get in the head of their opponent. Right
before Tiger, was arrested following that car crash, he returned to that TGL competition on ESPN. He helped found the league. He part owner of the league. And again, it's just a bunch of golfers playing computer golf on a simulated screen. And his appearance drew nearly 1 million viewers, its second largest audience ever. He's still, with all of the difficulties he still has got a lot of things going for him.
He does.
So why is he having...
So somebody's got to help me out with this, Barry. I've heard a lot of slang terms in my day. What is a disco biscuit?
Theo,
what is that?
Chris the Bammer? Disco biscuits don't show up on a breath test. Now, Chris the Bammer, I think, is in his 70s. Hence the reference to the disco. What in the world is a disco biscuit?
That's a new one.
Disco biscuit?
That's a new one.
Somebody. I want to hear John's phone ding. Let's get that going. Yeah. When we come back, it's the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Is it? Yeah. Ugh.
Coming up, Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News. Yeah, I get it's a drug reference.
Yeah.
But a disco biscuit?
You got to be more specific. I mean, booger sugar's a drug reference. We all know what that is.
Yeah, there have been some other ones that we've.
And now we're hearing Quaaludes. What is a Quaalude? I mean,
I've heard of Quaaludes before.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
I'm impressed, Chris. Is that how you spell it, Barry? Or did he just take a shot at it?
No, it's good. It's right. He spelled it right. Yeah. Okay. The reason why John doesn't recognize the spelling is because it has 2 A's, and John has. I don't think in his entire academic career ever saw 2 A's together. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. Many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
March 4th, 2020.
Oh.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, back at it here, about 20 minutes past the hour with Longshore and McKnight. Barry mentioned it. I guess we got to go to it. It's called the Phantom's Daily Dog. We do it each and every day during this slot. And
that's every day.
Yeah.
Every day without fail, rain, shine, snow, sleep, act of God, whatever. Every day, the Phantom has to produce a daily dog, an underdog against the spread that the Phantom thinks can cover every day. Now and again, and this came across my desk. It's every day.
So, not that we're trying to soften the blow a little bit, but
somewhat.
Barry, we had a rare losing week last week. 2 up, 3 down. It'll happen.
Not very often, no.
We were hoping that Michigan State catching 1.5 against this UConn team that had a miraculous buzzer beater yesterday to beat Duke, that 1.5 would be enough. We were a little short. We were 3.5 points shy of being able to at least get a push out of the deal. But, we would have been 3-2, but we're 2-3 instead for the week. So we're going to go ahead and just
Michigan State was doing great.
Yeah,
big ups to UConn.
Yeah,
because they know how to close out a game.
That's true.
They know how. I mean, they were Michigan State's really good. UConn, if you haven't paid attention, they come back strong against Michigan State on Friday.
Tough.
They came back strong.
Yeah.
Yesterday. UConn, they're well coached. They're mentally tough. When they're down at halftime, they don't give up 21 points in the fourth quarter and lose 35-3.
So it was a tough one to stomach. And things like that happen. Turned a winner into a loser. Now, do you think Chris the Bammer is really sincere about it here, Barry?
He is as sincere as I've ever heard anybody say that. Before.
But you can't type it like
I hate it for you.
Because when you say it, you go, I hate it for you, which indicates, no, you don't. But when you type out, hate it for you, it just doesn't really have the same oomph to it. But I see you working there, Chris.
Yeah.
So let's just move on. What do you say? Let's don't harp on that anymore.
Well, that was then.
Yeah.
This
is now.
Yes.
So, Barry, we're getting into the association, which has been good for the Phantom.
It has.
It has been.
It has.
So I'm scanning some of the games tonight. Got a pretty big slate of Monday night games. Matter of fact, 3 of them, Barry, on Peacock tonight. 3 NBA games if you want to check it out.
Okay.
Now, here's a game I had my eye on because I thought, man, this is going to be a really good game. I'm interested to see what the point spread's going to be when I saw the matchup. And,
I like it how John, he sounds like Ward Cleaver. This looks like a really good game. I'm interested to see what the point spread is going to be.
I told you last week that Hawk Piston game was a really good game.
It was.
Found myself watching it more than I did the Auburn, whoever they were playing in the NIT game. Anyway, I'm looking at the schedule. The lines have not come out yet because I'm looking at these early evening last night.
All right.
And I'm thinking, wow, how about this matchup? Detroit at OKC.
I don't know what it is, but the Phantom loves the Pistons.
Yeah, I said, both these teams have already clinched and secured a playoff berth. Detroit, first place in the Eastern Conference, 4 games ahead of the Boston Celtics. Oklahoma City in first place in the Western Conference, 2.5 games ahead of the San Antonio Spurs. So I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a really good game. I'm going to keep an eye out on this one, wait for this line to be released. It is, and I'm thinking, whoa, who is not playing for Detroit tonight?
I believe
12.5-point favorite?
Yeah, I believe it's Cade Cunningham, who averages 24 points a game. He's missed 7 games in a row. I saw the clip where he got injured, John. He was scrambling for a loose ball. He and another guy jumped on it. John, he's got a collapsed lung.
Ooh, not good. That's a 12.5-point difference.
Oh.
Yeesh. Well, and I do know load management. I love that term. John, why did you not turn in your math assignment? Miss Jones, load management. I mean,
the intern says, hey, is Mr. Barker going to be on the show today? No, he's missing another day. Why? Load
management.
Yeah.
Wish that phrase was around 40 years ago. Can't do it today, load management.
Unfortunately, in the case of Zion Williamson, it's overload management.
Yeah. So, Barry, I'm going to take a pass on that game. That number scares me.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham still dealing with the collapsed lung. He's a 24 points per game scorer. The Thunder, if they win this game, by the way, it would be number 60 of the season for them.
Oh, if that guy was playing, I wonder what the number would be then. I mean, 12.5.
They'd still be a favorite, the Thunder.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. And I would have probably taken Detroit as that dog, but I ain't taking them here.
No, yeah, smart.
So we're going to go up the board a little bit higher. This one kind of caught my attention. This game will be taking place in the Eastern Conference tonight.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Where the Philadelphia 76ers, currently in the 7th position at 41-33, are traveling to South Florida to take on the Miami Heat, currently in the 9th position at 39-36. Now, it is true the Heat have lost 2 in a row, where the 76ers have won 2 in a row. But, Barry, they're both scrambling and fighting for playoff position. I'd argue that Miami's scrambling a little bit more than Philadelphia, being that they're 2 slots below the 76ers. And Miami's at home tonight catching 2.5 at a 6 p.m. tip on Peacock. I'm taking the Heat tonight and the home team with the 2.5 against the Philadelphia 76ers.
There you go. That is the Phantom Daily Dog for the day today.
That's it.
Sometimes when you're down and out, when your girlfriend's hit the road, when you've taken had to take a furlough from your job or, something like that, sometimes you just call up your mom.
Yeah.
Mom, man, I'm telling you, I'm feeling kind of low. And she'll make you feel better. Come on over, get you some chicken soup. When the Phantoms had a losing week, his comfort food is the NBA. Let's go back to the NBA so I can get right again, so I can get back on the beam again. Because the Phantom in the NBA is somewhat akin to taking candy from a baby. At least that's the way it's been.
Yeah, we've done well in the NBA. We're hoping to continue it. And I know what you're saying out there. When are you going to pick some baseball games? Let me get a little bit better feel. I saw this giddiness. Oh, whoopee! Hey, we won our first series. Beat the Royals 2 out of 3. I'm thinking, really? I mean, it's the first.
If they had lost that series. If they had gotten swept in that series, you would never be hearing the name Braylon Mullins on the program today. You can't get what? Don't you hear the Braves got swept?
I don't think I could have handled two baseball teams that we talk a lot about being swept in the same weekend. That would have been too much. And then you throw in the Lady Aubs get swept in softball. I didn't even know that. What is John Cole? Is he catching some heat over there? Based on the message boards,
when Aub King says, I don't even think we're Alabama's biggest rival anymore. Now that, of course,
my thought was, whenever were you? But I don't want to get into that.
He actually does, but he's going to save that for a later day. Is Aub King Bob from Pike Road? Bama has now swept the Lee County War Tigers on all three major sports for this academic calendar year. Bama baseball swept over ranked Lee County this weekend. Has losing to Bama become comfortable? Is that Aub King?
I don't think that's
like yeah.
Let's be fair here. Help me out on
Well, if we're going to be fair, we would bring up the point that Bob doesn't give two toots about baseball. He thinks it's a pox upon American humanity. Yeah. Unless Bama ends up sweeping Auburn, then by gosh, we'll bring that up first thing in the morning.
Before Christy Curry elected to leave and go somewhere else, did she beat Auburn in basketball this year? I want to say Auburn won one of those games.
I'll have to look. Give me a moment. I think
the Lady Tigers might have beaten Alabama in women's basketball. Yeah. And if that is the case, Barry, Greg, good job. I get it. You know, if you can't complete the complete sweep, if you're the missing link that stopped Alabama from sweeping it in women's basketball too, then go down to Tampa. Yeah.
Thursday, January the 15th, Neville Arena in Auburn. On Welcome to the Jungle Night, evidently. To use John's vernacular, the Lady Aubs beat the Lady Tide 58-54.
That's what I thought.
John says, don't let the screen door hit you on the rear end.
Yeah. Is that the only time they play? Do women play twice in a year like the men?
Yeah, they usually do, but I don't see the other one.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Now, I am a little disappointed, Barry, that has not popped up on the Auburn message board over the weekend. Hey, don't forget about the Lady Tigers. They beat the Lady Tide in basketball.
They're not the Lady Tigers.
Do you leave it to me to bring those type things up to this audience? Come on, folks. Come on.
So there was that to hang your hat on.
Now, I don't know about golf.
Yeah, is John Cohen catching some heat? I would imagine that he is. Man.
Not to overwork you, but can you tell us when Alabama and Auburn play in softball, meet in softball this year? So we can just be ready.
In case you're wondering, John does have internet access. I know he does. John has Google.
Not as fast.
Yeah. Let's see.
We want to prepare the audience.
Not too much. He doesn't want to really badly. Otherwise, he'd have looked it up himself. But he wants to prepare the audience. Softball.
Yeah. What do we got?
Let's see. Alabama, by the way, is all that in softball, too. So they're having it going on. They play a 3-game series in Auburn in a little bit less than 2 weeks.
Oh, at the Jane B. Moore Field.
At the Jane B. Moore Field, Mal Moore's sister. April 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay.
The first game is Wear Navy Day. The second game is All for Alex, which is a really good cause.
Yeah.
For a young lady from Central Alabama who lost her life early because of cancer. And Sunday will be Wear Orange for Alumni Day. So
is that not this weekend, but next weekend?
Yeah, April 10th, 11th.
That's Masters weekend. So let me see. Yeah. Am I going to be watching gym dance and a tradition unlike any other, or women's softball on SEC Network? Depends on what the score is in the game.
You keep saying women's softball. In college, it's all women's softball. There ain't no men's softball. There ain't some big old pot-bellied guy from, from the Pie Cap House, sitting his beer down on second base after just hitting a homer, I mean, women's softball, give me a break. He said that like 3 times today.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure because, I know there's a lot of guys playing D-League out at Lagoon Park, so just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, I'm circling that. I'm writing it down. And there again, I thought I remembered Auburn beating Alabama in basketball, ladies basketball earlier this year. And with softball coming up in a little less than 2 weeks, get ready. That could be the difference.
Let's take a break. Still to come, it's our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Big story of the day. The Final Four is set in men's basketball. Miracle comeback by UConn, but they deserved it. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's Ram Truck Month at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams $20,000 off or 0% for 6 years, and heavy duties $12,000 off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deals sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L's, and Gladiators up to $15,000 off, and Wranglers $13,000 off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, it is about 14 minutes to the top of the hour. Glad you're with us here on this Monday. I don't know if you were able to check any of this out. I saw a little bit of it. I did. 30 seconds. I watched it. Maybe it's 2 minutes. UFL debuted over the weekend. I understand A.J. McCarron and the Birmingham Stallions went on the road and got a win in Louisville. Good for them. Way to go. Don't know how many fans were at the game.
Which is, of course, the most important thing. I'm surprised John actually presented that subject and went 15 seconds into it without mentioning the most important aspect of any athletic endeavor or any endeavor in the human world, and that's how many people are watching you.
Well, there's a reason. Because one of the greatest names in all of professional sports, I believe they brought it back, the Houston Gamblers from the old USFL. When there were some great names, some great mascots back in the day, the Gamblers. I mean, the NFL would never do anything like that. But what caught my attention was the team they were playing, the Dallas Renegades. Best looking uniform in the UFL. Maybe one of the better ones I've seen in professional sports.
You got the guy, the cowboy with a mask on his face, cowboy hat on, and red eyes. Red eyes.
I'm digging the Renegades uniform.
Yes.
And they're very, I like the way that they've done a good job of, making them kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why Louisville's known as the Kings.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was one in Louisville, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they moved somebody from somewhere.
I have. The Kings, though.
But I don't know why they
had a march against the Kings over the weekend, I think. Something like that, if I remember correctly.
I think I did see that. The Orlando
I don't know what they got against the UFL franchise in Louisville.
Really. But. Didn't Lee Corso coach the Orlando team back in the day?
The Orlando, I know there were the Washington Federals. Then they were the Orlando somethings.
Yeah.
I used to know that. I used to know that because it was a Florida team, and Craig James played for that team. But they were the Washington Federals.
So
the Dallas Renegades, their head coach, anybody?
Yeah, I can tell you. The guy that used to coach at UCLA.
He's on CBS, the Big Ten on CBS.
Yeah.
Their head coach is Rick Neuheisel. Their offensive coordinator is Noel Mazzoni, who used to be the offensive coordinator at Auburn back in the day. Their special teams coach is Scott Spurrier, who's the head ball coach. So, yeah.
Well, here's a little UFL knowledge for you, for folks out there that did not know. If I'm not mistaken, Barry, Birmingham has probably had the longest franchise with the same name and not a lot of moving around or changing their names. The Stallions are still a part of it, even though they did have a little uniform tweak. The colors are basically the same, but the Stallions have been around for a while.
Like it.
The Columbus Aviators were formerly the Michigan Panthers, a franchise or a team that had been in the league. They were the Panthers back in the USFL.
Yeah.
They are no longer.
They
are in Columbus, Ohio.
Aviators.
The Dallas Renegades. I don't remember Dallas having a USFL team, but they have had a UFL team for a couple of years. Same with DC, the Defenders.
Right.
Houston just rebranded themselves, Barry. They were the Roughnecks. They said, you know what? That sucks. Let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to the Gamblers. Love it.
Are you into it? I mean,
I haven't watched enough of it yet.
Is this viable for maybe the Phantom?
Possible.
Later on?
Possibly. Could be. I'm keeping an eye on it. I would like to know. Well, it doesn't surprise me. No longer does Memphis, Michigan, or San Antonio have a team.
Well,
they've gone to Columbus, Louisville, and Orlando. They've moved locales.
I got you.
There you have it. How many teams? 3, 6, 8 teams are in the UFL. And Joe Klatt does the games on.
I like him a lot. It is kind of Cole Kubelik does.
Yep. Cole Kubelik
a few of those games.
Sure does.
As well. But if you're looking, who are the recognizable players?
See, that's going to be their problem.
Not a bunch.
That's going to be their problem. Unlike the USFL, Barry, where you had Herschel Walker and
Doug Flutie, Steve Young. I'm kid you not, guys. I mean, you had some players. Anthony Carter for the Michigan. Heck, Bobby Hebert.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Yep, those were some players. Those were some games.
The Houston Gamblers the Houston Gamblers used to have Joe Kelly. Now they've got Tolia Tongo Vailoa. Yeah, so you look at them and you're thinking, I like it. I like the idea of football. The Stallions will have a game coming up in 3 weeks at home at Protective Stadium. It will not draw nearly as many as there was that tractor pull, that monster truck rally yesterday that my son Jack and my 2 grandchildren went to. It was great.
Wait, but they had a tractor pull at Protective Stadium?
Yeah, it wasn't a tractor pull. Technically, it was a monster truck rally, which, Jack always has loved monster trucks since he was a little kid. Now my grandson Joel, he's out there. He likes the Megalodon, and my granddaughter Olivia, she's out there. It's good. But they got Gucci Mane is going to have a concert on April the 18th for the Stallions game. Believe me, when that concert's over, it's going to look like somebody pulled a fire alarm. They do not draw. I'm surprised.
So Birmingham's first 3 games are on the road. That seems kind of odd. And their next game at Houston is on the NFL Network. Does the NFL have something to do with the UFL? What, am I missing something here? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Then the third game's on ABC. What? No bowling? No Battle of the Network Stars? Okay, all right. I see you getting a little run on some television networks. Their first home game, you're right, Barry, April 18th against the Orlando Storm. Game presented by UAB Medicine, if you're interested.
Yeah, there you go.
So good.
That's all we can tell you. We have squeezed every drop out of the USF.
I'm rooting for them, Barry, but and I haven't been to a game. So I can't sit here and tell you, it's great. But I did go to some USFL games back in the day, 40 years ago.
Yeah, what was it, $1 beer day or something?
50-cent beer. Yeah. We'd get some pledge to drive us over there. He'd be our even before you had designated drivers. We get some pledge to drive us over there. We'd watch the Stallions, 50-cent beer, sit in the end zone. It was great. Heck, they'd have 40, 50,000 at a Stallions game.
Yeah, I've been to one.
Yeah.
I've been to one. Raleigh Dotch, you kidding me? I used to love that Cliff Stout, the quarterback.
But you knew some of these guys. I mean, that's the problem. I don't know what these guys get paid. I don't know what a UFL – I mean, you probably make more in college. Well, I would probably guess you would.
Like right now, Brandon Silvers, we got to get him on. I know Brandon. Brandon used to be the quarterback at Troy under Neil Brown. Great guy. Brandon is the quarterback for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Mm-hmm.
And, he sells real estate, basically.
Yeah.
But every spring, he goes out and plays quarterback. He was 16 of 28 for 198 yards and a touchdown in their last game at 31 years old. So
how do you do that?
Kind of guys.
How do you have a life? How do you have a job and then play UFL football for 2 months?
We got to get Brandon Silvers on. Love that guy.
I'd like to know what the deal is. I don't know how much he's making.
Player.
I just, your lifestyle, your schedule. How do you deal with all that?
Good question.
Tough
Coming
stuff.
up, we've got our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All righty, back at it. About 12 minutes or so till the top of the hour here on Longshore and McKnight. Man, a lot of topics, a lot of discussion today. It's been good. We're going to keep it going here with the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. I do see 6 topics that neither Barry or I have seen, have no knowledge of what these are about. We are exploring them and opening them up for the first time, just like you.
Let's see what we got. All brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Uh-oh. This means a different thing in Great Britain, by the way. Jay Billis, he makes millions off of broadcasting NCAA basketball, but he hates its guts. I mean, he'll promote a game, and he's very good at broadcasting a game, but away from the court, he can't stand it. He was on College Game Day on Saturday. He says, what we have in this industry, look, This is not necessarily about Will Wade. It's about the business period. Coaches and administrators like to complain about tampering with players, but we never hear that with coaches. These coaches are under contract, and other member institutions are basically tampering with them and tortiously interfering with their contractual relationship because with their school, there's no repercussions. Everybody is good with it because you take my coach, I'll go take somebody else's. And the ripple effect goes through the whole industry. I don't think it's right. That does happen. I mean, he calls it tortiously interfering, which is what it is. You're breaking the terms of your contract. But then, you're righteously indignant about, this player can't do this. He doesn't like Tommy Tuberville's, 5-year plan. You got 5 years to play 5 after you transfer once. Then you got to sit out. Coaches don't have to sit out. I just wonder how long college basketball is going to continue to do that, because he keeps getting jobs, he keeps doing work and everything, but man, he does not like. I mean, you get the sense that he hates what he's doing. He's ashamed of himself.
Well, I think he likes what he's seeing on the floor, but I guess just the inner workings and the business side of it. I mean, can coaches sign non-compete contracts? They're not going to go for that.
Yeah.
They're in such a position of power. If you want me, this is what it's going to cost.
Yep.
And I want my buyout to decrease every year. And even if I don't like it, I'm leaving, and the other team's going to pay the buyout anyway.
Well, the whole thing comes up because of Will Wade. He takes the LSU job that's not open. LSU has a sitting head coach, Matt McMahon. He's over there. I guess he's recruiting. He's, having, camps and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden one day, hey, you're out. Can you get out quick because the new coach wants to come in? Wait a minute. What? New coach? Are you guys hiring somebody else when there's not even an open? That was kind of bad, to say the least. And in that sense, Jay Billis is right. LSU don't care.
Like in professional sports, the NFL particularly, there's only a certain period when you can talk to a coach of another team.
Right.
Can they not do that in college?
They could, I guess. I guess they could. It's not the best thing out there to be able to do. It's certainly not the best thing to do as an example to young people. The athletic director at North Carolina State, he said, look, me and our board of trustees, we had a 2-hour meeting with Will Wade on Tuesday. He said, there's nothing to this LSU stuff. Thursday, he's the coach at LSU. They were lied to, It's not a good look.
And they gave Saban so much crud 20 years ago when he allegedly said he wasn't coming to Alabama. All right, 5 to go. Let's see what's left on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Tuberville's not going to leave Ole Miss in a pine box. Bama fans used to love to bring that up until their coach said, I'm not going to Alabama. False and misleading.
Yes, false and misleading.
NFL Referees Association accuses NFL of spreading false and misleading information. Didn't see this one. Apparently, league sources are continuing to put out false and misleading information. This is collective bargaining. The NFL Referees Association is trying to enter into their collective bargaining agreement with the NFL. And the NFL Referees Association says the NFL is putting out false and misleading information.
What?
The NFL Referee Association says this, quote, the bottom line is our officials work for the wealthiest sports league in America with profits that far exceed any of the others. That's normally a point of pride for the NFL. However, our officials are substantially undercompensated when compared to baseball and basketball umpires and referees. Our officials also aren't even provided the health care benefits that those at 345 Park Avenue have. Wow. Now, they do work 17 games. Baseball umpires work 162. Basketball works at least 82. So maybe there's that.
And they only work once a week.
I wonder how difficult it would be to have a scab bunch of referees step in.
I want to say they have we had scab referees once before? I know we've had players. I don't think we've had them in football at some point in time.
But there we go. All right.
Yeah, I mean, they make a ton of money. Why not just keep making full-time employees? We've heard that before. We even heard that about SEC officials. Matter of fact, I recognize one of the officials in that UFL game I was watching for 2 minutes. He is a SEC official doing UFL football this spring. All right. What do we got left? 4 more. Blue, green, yellow, red. Love the colors.
John's a big colors guy. He'll
Love
tell you
the
that.
colors.
Crazy move.
That's terrible. That's a
crazy move. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh, Max Verstappen, a Formula One racer, $380 million in winning. He said, sometimes you just don't feel fulfilled. You know, sometimes I'm wondering, he says, privately, I'm very happy. And you think about, is it worth it? Or do I enjoy being more at home with my family, seeing my friends more when you're not enjoying it?
Yeah.
He's thinking about retiring at the age of 28 because he does, you know, he'd like to be able to step back and enjoy the fruits of. He's very successful, $380 million, John. I love sports. Sports is my passion. If I made $380 million by the time I'm 28 years old, John, there's a possibility. I'm just saying there's a possibility that I would not be on this show.
Yeah, I can see that.
$380 million to a 28-year-old Barry McKnight. I might be tempted at least to consider just shaking your hands, giving you a bro hug and saying, man, good luck. Good luck.
I get it. I would not hold it against you. I would say, hey, man, you got $280 million. You think you could spare like 3 or 4 for your buddy here? I mean, come on.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But that's just, I got no problem with it. I mean, the guy could, get in a fiery car crash at any minute. It happens.
It does.
I'd hang around the house, maybe, play a little golf, dabble in the stock market.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Volunteer at the
Go for it.
foundation.
I think they had an Indy race up in Birmingham at the Barber Motorsports Park. There again, saw a little bit of that on television. Did I watch the whole thing? Well, no, but I saw like 2 minutes of it.
Is that the old horse track?
No, this is something. No, that's where there's a casino there now.
That's what I thought.
No, they built this.
I've
never been, but people that are into racing say it is phenomenal.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3 to get. We're still on track, although we
are
gotten a little volleyball on the last couple. Great entrance. Is this Halle Berry out of the surf in No, let's see.
In that ball movie?
Yeah, Edwin Diaz. I hope we can be able to play this to where you can hear it.
Man, it's kind of dark out there. What happened?
Yeah, it's because they flashed the lights. Edwin Diaz was the all-star closer for the Mets and the Dodgers. This is his. You'd recognize the trumpet solo. They used to hook it into the public address when he was with the Mets. He'd come in. It's a big trumpet solo. Now they have some lady who can play the trumpet with a live trumpet solo. She's no Doc Severinsen, I'll tell you that. She's no Al Hurt. But
what's this ump doing here? The pitcher got to go through a screening with a TSA agent? What was he doing there?
Yes, they do. Evidently, one of the backup singers for Tony Orlando and Dawn can also play the trumpet.
I thought that was a lady in What's Happening. Remember her?
Yeah. Maybe it was that woman in that Eddie Griffin
love
movie
What's
about
Happening.
that. Yeah. Beyonce in that Austin Powers movie. Anyway, that's what he do. He signed with the Dodgers for millions. The Dodgers signing everybody for millions, and they bring over his old entrance trumpet music, except it's live this time. All right, back at it.
Back at it, 2 to go here on the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic. Will Victoryland exit 22 off I-85 Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
The lady's name was Clara Peller.
Okay.
In that commercial for Wendy's.
That's right.
Where's the beef? Clara Peller. She's been dead for about 30 years. Award-winning animals at the State Livestock Expo. Are you seeing this, John, from Wetumpka?
How about this? Yeah.
This is the perfect spot for this is on our show because that's a lot of bull, too.
That is a lot of bull.
Up. Go up real quick. That's a nice bull, but at the top. Down a little bit. Coleman County, Garrett Coliseum.
Yeah, sure.
The 2026 Junior Livestock Exposition in Montgomery, as was this past weekend. Garrett Coliseum is a perfect place for the Junior Livestock Expedition.
Yeah.
Big ups to Easton Elrod of Coleman County. That
You know, Barry, they used to have Montgomery County Auburn Club meetings out there. I always said that was a perfect place for it.
Oh, look. That's a funny-looking cow right there.
That is a funny-looking cow. Barry, by the way, the lady I was referencing on that show was Shirley.
Oh,
What's Happening?
Yeah.
Shirley.
Her name in real life was Shirley Hemphill. Rerun. Dwayne, a little smart Raj. Yeah, which is funny because that's my wife's name.
Shirley.
There you go. Yes. Shirley Hemphill. That's
true.
She's
Lord.
No
all right, one more to go. What do we got? Here we go.
Okay.
Well, we got to spin it to make it official. It's going to be KO'd. Was there a fight over the weekend? Did I miss something here? What do we got here? Oh,
here we go. UFC fighter. Are these the ladies? Alexa Grasso.
Ooh, let me see her.
Oh, you got to give it to his.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, boom. Oh, we're getting there.
Oh, I did see a block. That lady was knocked out. Ooh, I mean, she's choking her out, and she's already out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's blood everywhere. She
doesn't know what day it is. Yeah. She can't get up.
No, she ends up falling. There she goes. Yeah. I mean, she got. I don't know how I feel about that. Ladies,
you know, there again, I don't want to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but even the men, it just doesn't attract. I'd rather see a good, back in the day, boxing match. I don't want to see two people out there trying to kill each other.
It is scary.
Yeah, I don't get it, but people obviously love it.
I mean, I wouldn't pay good money for it, but I see guys that they don't even watch the matches. They just get on YouTube and they got the best 25 knockouts of 2025 in UFC, and they'll sit there and they'll just watch people getting absolutely knocked senseless. All right.
Do not get it. Tomorrow, a great show today. Tomorrow, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com will join us at the bottom of hour number 1. Travis Ryer on YouTube, talking Tide to kick off hour number 2.
Yeah, we've got a lot planned for tomorrow. Glad you're along with us here. For our producer, Gurn Jr., he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by